Research Methodology, Part 2. In this part, we'll see about problem definition, concept and variable with the types of data. So, problem definition, concepts, variables, and data types will be covered in this section. That is part 2 of research methodology. A research problem or research problem definition is the situation that causes the researcher to feel confused and ill at ease. If not, there is no research problem. It's the demarcation of a problem area within a certain context involving who or what, where, and when, and why of the problem situation. As you know, a problem clearly stated is a problem half solved. If you clearly define your research problem in advance, it can be considered as a problem which is half solved. So more focus should be given for problem definition. Ill-defined problems may create harder later in your research work. So defining a research is a prerequisite for any study. When you intend to conduct a research, the basic thing that you should give more emphasis is defining your problem. So problem definition or formulation of a problem is more essential than its solution. Because as you have said before, ill-defined problems may lead you to wrong conclusions. It's only carefully detailing research problems that we can work out the research design. If the research problem is not defined well, we cannot talk about our research design. Our research design largely depends on our problem definition. When the problem is clearly defined, answers for the following and the like questions can be found or addressed. What data are going to be collected? What relations are to be explored? What techniques are going to be used in our research methodology? So በዚህ portion research problem clearly define ካልተደረገ ምን አይነት ዳታ ኮሌክት እንደምናደርግ የሚያስፈልገን ዳታ ታይፕ ምን እንደሆነ ምን አይነት ቴክኖሎጂ ምን አይነት ሜቶዶሎጂ ምን አይነት ቴክኒካል ቱልስ መጠቀም እንዳለብን መወሰን አንችልም። But if we define our problem clearly, it can tell us, it can indicate what type of data are we going to collect, what type of a methodology, a technique, a method that we are going to use. ይህን ምላሽ የምናገኘው ፕሮብለማችን በስርዓት clearly define መደረግ ሲችል ነው። And as you know, formulating a research problem is the first and most important step in the research process. It is like determination of destination before undertaking a journey. This concept is related with planning. As you know, if you don't know where to go, then every road can take you there. ውጤት ግን መባዘን ነው፣ መዳረሻን አታውቀውማ። ስለዚህ ማንኛውም ሂውማን አክቲቪቲ ኦብጀክቲቭ አለው። ያን ኦብጀክቲቭ አስቀምጠን መዳረሻን ወስነህ ስትንቀሳቀስ እያንዳንዱ ጥረት፣ እያንዳንዱ ኢፈርት፣ እያንዳንዱ አክቲቪቲ ተዋርድስ አቺቪንግ ዛት ኦብጀክቲቭ ይሆንልሃል። አለበለዚያ መዳረሻን ካላወቅ፣ ዴስቲኔሽንን ካላወቅ ማንኛውም መንገድ ይወስዳል፣ መዳረሻ የለህም፣ ውጤቱ ደግሞ መባዘን፣ ከንቱ ሪሶርስ ማባከን ይሆናል። ስለዚህ ላይክ ዛት ሪሰርች ፕሮብለም ክሊርሊ ዲፋይን ከተደረገ ሪሰርች ሃፍ ሶልቭድ ነው የምንለውም ለዛ ነው። ፕሮብለሙ ሃፍ ሶልቭድ ነው የሚባለውም ለዛ ነው። ሶ ሪሰርች ፕሮብለማችን ክሊርሊ ኢን አድቫንስ ዲፋይን ማድረግ መቻል ተገቢ ነው ነው። ሶ ፎርሙሌሽን ኦፍ ዘ ሪሰርች ፕሮብለም ሚንስ ዲፋይኒንግ ዘ ፕሮብለም ፕሪሳይስሊ ዋት ዘ ፕሮብለም ኢዝ፣ who faces the problem, what challenges are occurring, where, at what environment, what is the already existing knowledge or solution at hand before this time with regard to that problem የሚሉት ጉዳዮች ምላሽ ማግኘት መቻል አለባቸው። Generally, formulation of a problem involves the following. Formulation of the problem in a general way, then understanding the nature of the problem, surveying the available literature with regard to your problem, developing the idea through discussion, rephrasing the research problem into a working preposition or proposition. So research problem define ማድረግ formulate ማድረግ ስንል እነዚህን አክቲቪቲዎች ሊያካትት ይገባዋል። The way you formulate your research problem determines almost every step that follows in your conducting in your research. The type of the studies design that can be used. Research problem define ስታረግ formulate ስታረግ ምን አይነት study design እንደምትከተል ፍንጭ ይሰጣል። The type of sampling strategies that can be employed. What sampling strategy are you going to use የሚለውን ከዚሁ ታገኛለህ። The research instruments that can be used. The research instrument or questionnaire or instruments that you can use to collect data. The type of analysis that can be undertaken. ምን አይነት statistical tools መጠቀም አለብኝ፣ ምን አይነት analysis ማካሄድ መቻል አለብኝ። and the quality of the research report ራሱ in advance ይወሰናል። ስለዚህ ፕላኒንግ ላይ እቅድ ካለ ኦብጀክቲቭ ካስቀመጥ ጎል ካስቀመጥ እያንዳንዱ አክቲቪቲ ያን ጎላችን ለማድረግ ይሆናል። ጎል ከሌለህ ግን ምን መስራት፣ እንዴት መስራት፣ መቼ መስራት እንዳለብህ የሚነግርህ የለም እና ፕላኒንግ ኢት ኢዝ a blueprint that tells you what you are going to do, how you are going to do ይላል ማኔጅመንት። like that research problem clearly define አድርገህ ከተነሳ it is a blueprint, it is a way that tells you what type of study design you are going to use, what type of sampling strategies that you are going to use, what type of research instrument or questionnaire you require, and the type of statistical tools that you are going to use to analyze your data. And even it tells you the quality of your research report largely depends on your formulation or research problem definition. So problem definition to this level important now. While selecting a research problem or topic, there is a number of considerations, or there are a number of considerations that you should keep in mind, and some includes researcher's interest. Your interest should be to the maximum level in the topic or problem definition that you are choosing. Originality and novelty of the problem, researchable issue, measurement of concepts, how you are going to measure the concept. For instance, if you are interested to study performance of organizations, how performance will be measured? What are the indicators that you are going to use to measure performance? What are the variables that you are going to use to measure the performance of the organization? And level of expertise or sufficient knowledge in the area, relevance, availability of data, and ethical considerations or ethical issues should be considered while you choose your research problem or research topic. After all, in problem formulation or problem definition, you should specifically identify or state what the problem is, who faces the problems, what are known facts before about this problem, what makes you interested on this issue, and detailed issues to be addressed in your research. After all, after conducting the research, these issues will be addressed in this study. So, research problem or research problem definition ስትሰሩ ምንድን ነው ፕሮብለሙ? ሪሊ ዋት ኢዝ ዘ ፕሮብለም? ማን ነው ፕሮብለሙን ፌስ እያደረገ ያለው እየተጋፈጠ ያለው? ከአሁን በፊት የታወቁ ፋክቶች ሶሉሽኖች ፎር ዛት ፕሮብለም አሉ ወይ? ምን አሉ? አንተን እንደ ሪሰርቸር እዛ ኢሹ እዛ ቶፒክ ላይ ምንድን ነው ኢንተረስት ያደረገ እና በዚህ ጥናት መጨረሻ ምላሽ የሚያገኙ ጉዳዮችስ ምን ይሆናሉ የሚሉትን በፕሮብለም ዴፊኒሽን ውስጥ በግልጽ ተካተው መገኘት ይኖርባቸዋል ማለት ነው። So having this, let's come to the concept and variable. A concept that can be measured is called a variable. As you know, a variable is a symbol to which numerical values are attached or attributed later. So a variable is a symbol which will assume a certain value after investigation. So a variable is a rational unit of analysis that can assume any one of a number of designated sets of values. This data or this value will be determined after investigation or after conducting the research. So a concept that can be measured on any of the 4 types of measurement scale. This measurement scale will be discussed later in this chapter, that nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scales, which have varying degree of precision in measurement, is called a variable. So a concept is a feeling, attitude. It is a mental image or a perception that you cannot measure, whereas a variable is a measurable, of course with varying degree of accuracy, but it is measurable. You can measure variable, but you cannot measure a concept. And in a research idea first starts with a concept. That concept cannot be measured. So you should convert the concept into a variable, a measurable issue. But a variable is measurable. So a concept cannot be measured, whereas a variable can be measured. As we have said before, concepts are subjective impressions, perceptions, mental images, at which their understanding may differ from person to person. It is therefore important for concepts to be converted into variables, as they can be subjected to measurement. So in research, as I've said before, a research idea starts with the concept, but the concept cannot be measured. The concept should be converted into a variable. For example, have a look here. Effectiveness. It's a concept. You cannot measure it. How you measure effectiveness? Whereas income, age, gender, these are variables which can be measured. Let's see another best example. Rich. This is a concept. How you are going to measure it? You cannot. For example, Mr. X ከቤተሰቦቹ ብዙ ብር ተላከለት። Now ብዙ ብር የሚለው ሀሳብ it is a concept. It cannot be measured. How you can measure it? How much ብዙ is ብዙ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው? ስንት? For somebody ብዙ የሚለው maybe 5000 5000 ብር ተልኮለታል ሊል ይችላል። ሰማዘር ደግሞ ብዙ የሚለውን ሀሳብ ምናልባት 600 ብር ተልኮለት ይሆን ሊሉ ይችላሉ። So it is subjective. It differs from individual to individual. It cannot be measured. So rich የሚለውም እንደዛው። ሪችነስ እንዴት እንለካዋለን? መቼ ነው ሪች የሚባለው? የሪችነስ መለኪያ ኢንዲኬተሮችስ ምንድን ናቸው? ስለዚህ ሪች የሚለው ኮንሰፕት ነው። ይህን ኮንሰፕት መጀመሪያ ኢንዲኬተርስ እናበጅለታለን። ለምሳሌ እዚህ ጋር እንደምታዩት ኢንካም፣ አሴት፣ ኦቨርኦል አሴት ኤንድ ኢንካም ሌቭል። ወደ ቫሪያብል ስንቀይረው ኢንካም ፐር ይር ሞር ሜጀረብል ይሆናል። ቶታል ቫሊዩስ ኦፍ አሴትስ። ሶ ዊ አር ቼንጂንግ the concept into a variable. Rich is a concept which cannot be measured, but income per year and total values of assets, these are indicators that measures richness of an individual, and this can be measured. So this is a variable. Decision level, rich ከ100 ሺህ በላይ ሲኖረው፣ በአሴት ደረጃ ደግሞ ሪች 250 ሺህ ካፒታል ካለው አዘርዋይስ ሪች አይደለም ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ decision level እያስቀመጥን ለሜጀርመንቱ ለቫሪያብሉ ማለት ነው። So በሪሰርች usually we start with the concept, but that concept cannot be measured. First we should convert the concept into a variable. That is what a concept and a variable is. Now let's have a look on types of variables. The list is not exhaustive. በሪሰርች ውስጥ የምታገኟቸው የቫሪያብል ታይፖች እነዚህ ብቻ ናቸው ማለት አይደለም። but most of them የሚያጋጥሟቸው እነዚህ ናቸው። ኢንዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል፣ ዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል፣ ኤክስትራኒየስ ቫሪያብል ኤንድ ኢንተርቬኒንግ ቫሪያብል። ኢንተርቬኒንግ ቫሪያብል ኦር ኦልሶ ኮልድ ሜዲዬቲንግ ቫሪያብል የሚለው ማለት ነው። እነዚህን በዚህ ሌብል ካየን ይበቃል። ግን types of variables that you may encounter in conducting research may be of many types. ለምሳሌ በአሞስ ሶፍትዌር የምትጠቀሙ ከሆነ ቶታሊ ኢንዲፔንደንት ዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል የሚለውን ቃሉን ራሱ አይጠቀምም። the exogenous and endogenous variables እያለን ነው የምንጠቀማቸው። the outcome variable, predictor variable እያለን እንላቸዋለን። so independent variable, it is the cause supposed to be responsible for bringing about change in a phenomena or a situation. An independent variable is a variable which is assumed to cause an effect on another variable. This independent variable is also called predictor variable. Whereas the dependent variable is the outcome variable. It is the outcome variable. The outcome of the change brought about by introduction or introducing the independent variable. So a dependent variable is a variable that will be affected or influenced by an independent variable. If a variable is affected or influenced by another independent variable, that variable is called dependent variable or also called outcome variable ተብሎም ይጠራል። ሌላው extraneous variable, factors operating in a real life situation that may affect changes in the dependent variable ተጽዕኖ የሚያመጡ, but these factors not measured in the study and may increase or decrease the magnitude or strength of the relationship between independent and dependent variable. በዲፔንደንት እና በኢንዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል መካከል ያለው ሪሌሽንሺፕ አልተር የሚያደርጉ ኢፌክት ሳይዙን ቼንጅ የሚያደርጉ ግን በእኛ ጥናት ውስጥ ያልተካተቱ ዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል ላይ ተጽዕኖ ማምጣት የሚችሉ ጥናታችን ውስጥ ግን ያላካተትናቸው ቫሪያብሎች ኤክስትራኔስ ቫሪያብል እንላቸዋለን። እነዚህ ቫሪያብሎች ደግሞ የት ጋር ሪፕሬዘንት ይደረጋሉ? አሞስ ወይም ደግሞ ከኤስፒኤስ ተጠቅማችሁ ሲሰሩ አድጀስትድ አር ስኩዌር ቫሊዩ ፎር ኤግዛምፕል 75% ቢላችሁ 75% አር ስኩዌር ቫሊዩ ያገኛችሁ ማለት ነው። ጥናት ውስጥ የተካተተው ወይም ደግሞ ዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል ላይ ኢንፍሉዌንስ ያደረገው ይሄ ኮንሲደር ያደርጋችሁት ኢንዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል 75%ን ድርሻ ይወስዳል። ዘረስት 25%ቱ በኤክስትራኔስ ቫሪያብል በጥናታችሁ ውስጥ ባልተካተቱ በሌሎች ቫሪያብሎች የሚመጣ ቼንጅ ነው እንደማለት ነው። እና ኤክስትራኔስ ቫሪያብል በዚህ መልኩ ሪፕሬዘንት ይደረግ ይችላል። ሌላው ኢንተርቬኒንግ ቫሪያብል ነው። sometimes called compounding variable or totally recently in AMOS it is called mediating variable. It is a variable which links the independent and dependent variable. It is the cause variable will have the assumed effect only in the presence of an intervening variable. Means that let's have a look at the following diagram for better understanding. Here, the impact of advertisement on profitability of the firm is the study. Now have a look. Advertising is the independent variable that causes a change on profitability. So profitability is the dependent variable. It is a variable that is caused by the independent variable advertisement. But here there is employee commitment, which is an intervening variable. Advertising affects employee commitment, and employee commitment again affects profitability. So advertising has a direct effect on profitability, or advertising may have an indirect effect on profitability through the mediating variable employee commitment. Here ከታች ደግሞ የምታዋቸው extraneous variable, attitude towards advertisement, level of education of customers, stage of economic development, income of customers. ስለዚህ ለፕሮፊታቢሊቲ አስተዋጽኦ ሊያደርጉ የሚችሉ እንደ ኢንዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል ኮንሲደር ሊደረጉ የሚችሉ ግን በእኛ ጥናት ውስጥ ያላካተትናቸው ቫሪያብሎች ናቸው። እነዚህ ደግሞ ኤክስትራኔስ ቫሪያብልስ እንላቸዋለን። ሶ ቫሪያብልስ ሜይ ቢ ኦፍ ኢንዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል፣ ዲፔንደንት ቫሪያብል፣ ኢንተርቬኒንግ ቫሪያብል ኦር ሜዲቲንግ ቫሪያብል ማለት ነው። ኤንድ ኤክስትራኔስ ቫሪያብልስ ብለን በዚህ መልኩ ልንከፋፍላቸው እንችላለን ማለት ነው። በት ዘ ሊስት ኢዝ ኖት ኤግዞስቲቭ። Now let's come to data and data types. As you know, data is raw fact or figure or symbol, maybe symbol, which is unfiltered, which is unorganized, which is less dependent for decision making. We cannot rely on data to make a decision because it is unfiltered, unprocessed, unorganized. Whereas information is a processed data. Data after processing, it gives us information. And we managers, we make a decision using information. So manufacturing business እንደምታውቁት input process output ላይ the input is data Then after processing, after data organization, after analysis, the output is information ይሆናል ማለት ነው። So we may have various types of data, and among others, data may be of two types, primary data and secondary data. When we say primary data, fresh information for the first time is collected for our purpose. Whereas secondary data በምንበት ጊዜ ግን it is a data type at which some other researchers have conducted research, they documented it. እኛ ደግሞ ለራሳችን ዓላማ አሁን ሪትራይቭ የምናደርግ ከሆነ ኦልሬዲ ሪትን የሆነ ኦልሬዲ ዝግጁ የሆነ ማቴሪያሎች ላይ ሪትራይቭ የምናደርግ ከሆነ ሰከንዳሪ ነው። ፕራይመሪ ግን ፍሬሽ ኢንፎርሜሽን ፎር ዘ ፈርስት ታይም ፍሮም ሪስፖንዳንትስ ነው የምናገኘው ማለት ነው። ሶ ዳታ በዚህ መልኩ ፕራይመሪ ዳታ፣ ሰከንዳሪ ዳታ ተብሎ ሊከፈል ይችላል። እንደምታውቁት ዳታ ኮሌክሽን ቱል ስንመጣ ፕራይመሪ ዳታ ኮሌክሽን ቱል ኢንተርቪው፣ ኮሽነር፣ ኦብዘርቬሽን፣ ፎከስ ግሩፕ ዲስከሽን የፕራይመሪ ዳታ ቱልስ የምላቸው ናቸው። ሰከንዳሪ ዳታ ደግሞ ከቡክስ፣ ከአርቲክል፣ ከማጋዚን፣ ከኒውስ ፔፐር፣ ከኢንተርኔት ሶርስስ በሙሉ ሰከንዳሪ ዳታ እናገኛለን ማለት ነው። በሌላ መልኩ ደግሞ ዳታ በሁለት ይከፈል ይችላል። ኳሊታቲቭ ዳታ ኤንድ ኳንቲታቲቭ ዳታ። ኳሊታቲቭ ዳታ is a categorical data. It is a nominal data which fails in either or category. For example, a qualitative data in either or category ስንል being male and female, either male or female category. Religion, being Christian, Muslim or Protestant or Catholic, etc. So one group is not better than the other group. Simply it is a category. That is a qualitative data which cannot be expressed using numbers, which cannot be expressed numerically. Whereas a quantitative data is a data which can be expressed using numerical terminologies. On the other hand, again, a quantitative data may be of two types, discrete versus continuous data. A discrete data is a data which assumes only whole numbers. A discrete data is a data that arises from counting, and it cannot assume fractions. For example, ከአንድ ክላስ ውስጥ 10፣ 15 or 20 or 50 ተማሪ ሊኖር ይችላል። 10.5 የሚባል ተማሪ ግን የለም። 20.5 የሚባል ተማሪ ግን የለም። So it cannot assume fractions. It assumes only whole numbers, and it arises from counting. Whereas a continuous data is a data that arises from measurement. It can assume infinite number of values between two consecutive integers. For example, height, weight, income የመሳሰሉት ኮንቲኒስ ዳታ እንላቸዋለን። በ1 ሜትር ከ50 ሴንቲሜትር እና በ1 ሜትር ከ51 ሴንቲሜትር መካከል ራሱ ሌላ ኢንፋይናይት ነምበር ኦፍ ቫሊዩስ ሊኖሩን ይችላሉ። ሶ ኢት ካን አሲዩም ፍራክሽንስ። ሶ አኮርዲንግሊ ዳታ ሜይ ቢ ዲስክሬት ዳታ ኦር ኮንቲኒስ ዳታ ተብሎ ሊከፈል ይችላል። ዳታ ሜይ ቢ ክሮስ ሴክሽናል ዳታ ኤንድ ታይም ሲሪስ ዳታ። ክሮስ ሴክሽናል ዳታ ሚንስ ዳታ ታይፕ which is collected only once, whereas time series data means a data type which is collected more than once. ስለዚህ ሎንጂቱዲናል ስተዲ ያለው ማለት ነው። በዚህ መልኩም ክሮስ ሴክሽናል እና ታይም ሲሪስ ዳታ ተብሎ ሊከፈል ይችላል። ቤዝድ ኦን ሜጀርመንት ስኬልስ data may be classified into 4 categories: nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. When we say nominal data, a nominal data is totally a qualitative data. It is a categorical data or a qualitative data. For instance, religion of students in a class, Muslim, Catholic, or any other religion. So, በዚህ ጊዜ አንደኛው ግሩፕ ከሌላኛው ግሩፕ ይሻላል ማለት አይደለም። ቢንግ ሙስሊም ዳዝ ኖት ሚን ዛት ኢት ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ቢንግ ክርስቲያን ኦር ቢንግ ክርስቲያን ዳዝ ኖት ሚን ዛት ኢት ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ቢንግ ሙስሊም። ኢት ዳዝ ኖት ሚን ሲምፕሊ ኢት ኢዝ አ ካታጎሪ ዛት ዘ ኖሚናል ዳታ ዌራዝ ኦርዲናል ዳታ አዝ ዘ ኔም ኢንዲኬትስ ኦርዲናል ዳታ ራንክ ኦር ኦርደር ማተርስ። ሶ ዘ ፈርስት ኦርደር ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ዘ ሰከንድ ኦርደር ኤንድ ዘ ሰከንድ ኦርደር ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ዘ ተርድ ኦርደር. But there is no equal gap between orders. This means ለምሳሌ አካዳሚክ ራንክ ብንወስድ ወይ ደግሞ በአትሌቲክስ ውድድር አንድ እስከ 3 የወጡ ሀገሮችን ዝርዝር ብንወስድ አንድ ክላስ ውስጥ አንደኛ ያወጣው ተማሪ 90 አቬሬጅ ቢኖረው፣ ሁለተኛ ያወጣችው ተማሪ 89 አቬሬጅ ቢኖራት፣ ሶስተኛ ያወጣችው ተማሪ 80 ቢኖራት ቢንግ አንደኛ ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ቢንግ ሁለተኛ፣ ቢንግ ሁለተኛ ኢዝ ቤተር ዛን ቢንግ ሶስተኛ። ግን በአንድና በሁለት መካከል ያለው ጋፕ በ90 እና በ89 እንዲሁም በሁለትና በሶስተኛ መካከል ያለው ጋፕ በ89 እና በ80 መካከል ያለው ጋፕ ግን እኩል አይደለም። ሶ ኦርዲናል ዳታ it is a rank, the first rank is better than the second rank is better than the third, but there is no equal gap between orders ነው። ሶስተኛው ኢንተርቫል ዳታ ነው። ኢንተርቫል ዳታ ከእስከ ብለን መግለጽ የምንችለው ኢንተርቫል ዳታ ነው። there is equal gap between intervals, but there is no true zero in interval data and ratio cannot be computed in interval data. for example የኢንተርቫል ዳታ ቤስት ኤግዛምፕል ሆኖ የሚሰጠው ቴምፕሬቸር ነው እና there is no true zero in interval data ማለት 0 ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ ቴምፕሬቸር ማለት ምንም ቴምፕሬቸር የሚባል ነገር የለም ማለት አይደለም። ኢቭን ኔጌቲቭ ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ ቴምፕሬቸርም ይኖራል። ስለዚህ there is no true zero ማለት ነው። ዜሮ does not mean complete absence of the characteristic እንደማለት ነው። ለምሳሌ አሁን እንዳልኳችሁ 0 ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ ቴምፕሬቸር ነው ማለት ኮምፕሊትሊ ስለ ቴምፕሬቸር የሚባል ነገር የለም፣ ቴምፕሬቸር ማውጣት አንችልም ማለት አይደለም። there is temperature ግን 0 ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ ቴምፕሬቸር ነው። ሬሾውም ኮምፒውት ማድረግ አይቻልም። whereas ሬሾ ዳታ ጋር ስንመጣ there is equal gap between intervals, it is an interval data, there is equal gap between intervals, there is true zero in ratio data and ratio can be computed. for example የሬሾ ዳታ ቤስት ኤግዛምፕል የሚሰጠው ኢንካም ነው። so there is a true zero in ratio data ያለው ዜሮ ኢንካም ማለት this means complete absence of the characteristic። ዜሮ ኢንካም ከሆነ ምንም ኢንካም የለም። ስለዚህ ዜሮ represents complete absence of the characteristic. you have zero income, no income at all. ratio can be computed. for example Mr. X has 4000 monthly salary and Mr. Y has 2000 monthly salary ቢሆን የሚስተር ኤክስ 4000 የሚስተር ዋይን 2000 ደሞዝ 4000 ለ2000 ሲካፈል 2 ለ1 ሬሽዮ ነው። 2 ዋይስ ኦፍ የኤክስ ደሞዝ ኢዝ 2 ዋይስ ኦፍ የዋይ ደሞዝ ማለት ይቻላል። ስለዚህ ሬሽዮ ካን ቢ ኮምፒውትድ የምንለው ከዛ አንፃር ነው። ሶ these are typologies or classifications of data. This is all for this video. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.